Hey everybody, this is Street Bug. Just want to talk to you about the latest things going on the street. I had a new gal. Well, she's not too far away from here. She kind of hangs out about a couple of miles south of where I'm at. And anyway, I came across her a few days ago, and she was really distraught about having lost her boyfriend to drug fentanyl or fentanyl. Anyways, it's a real popular drug going around, killing off people right, left and right, especially the homeless. You know, I myself lost a couple of guys I knew out here last year to fentanyl, and it's always sad to see. You know, these guys are hooked, and you try to convince them to change their lives a little bit, but they don't. And then they eventually things like that do happen out here. Kind of said, well, anyway, she was grieving. And I was able to comfort her a little bit. I patched her up as well. She had fallen off her bike, and she was just crying and crying and crying. And I know a lot of that. She was probably a little loaded as well, and a lot had to do with possibly drugs in the system. But I listened to her and I comforted her. And a lot of times you kind of have to decipher what they're saying when they're on drugs, because sentences, ideas are broken up. So I did what I could and comforted her, and I must have to agree with a couple of things she said that really triggered something, and I ended up putting that information on the local Facebook pages. You know that they're not doing enough. The Ontario PD is not doing enough for getting rid of that fentanyl off the street. It's a really dangerous drug, and I know the background to it, how it gets through the borders and everything. But I noticed that a lot of times the police go after the homeless, but they don't go after the drug dealers. I myself have been thrown out of many places, and yet the drug dealers remain put. You know, nothing happens to them. So I know pretty well that nothing gets done to them. So, and the good homeless are the people who are kind of less less dangerous, I guess, for lack of a better word, are really harassed and sent on their way. Kind of sad situation. Well, anyways, I brought that up in my notes, and pretty much stated that, but you know, might have something to do with the PD not doing their job or allowing drugs to permeate our area. And having put that on local like news, just this morning about 3 o'clock, I got somebody to wake me up, and offered me a bag of what appears to be marijuana drug. And I was pretty drowsy in the morning. They dropped it off on me and ran or left, and I got the bag, made sure I didn't have any prints on it, and just tossed it in the nearest trash can in case it was a setup. So I think the PD's device is probably doing this, and I got to be very careful out here that they don't slip anything in my cards and everything. And I've always watched my car very closely, because I think the police are capable of that. I've learned out here that, you know, you can trust the police as well, as especially the guys out here. But overall, one has to have somewhat of a hope, and I think I would prefer to trust a little bit more the police than I would the drug dealer. So it's kind of sad having said that, but that's what I believe out here. You gotta be very cautious, and having experienced a lot of things out here, I know that the police can turn their back on you quite easily. So anyways, that's all I got to say. We'll take care, and we'll see you later.